What to do, baby? Welcome back to the TMS Takes podcast.
My name is Tyler.
I'm Mason.
And I'm Steele.
I thought we were going to stay with you saying your name. I was confused for a second.
Yeah, yours starts first. But anyways, guys,
come on, man.
Today's episode, we're going to be going over some early preseason thoughts and whatnot. You know, it's preseason, so I'm just going to put this disclaimer now. It is only preseason, so you have to take everything with a little grain of salt.
Yeah.
I don't want to get repetitive with saying that, but I feel like that's just a pre-disclaimer on some of these takes because, you know, some players look like amazing today, but they end up looking like Daniel Jones in 3 weeks. We don't know because Daniel Jones is a preseason god, and then he turned out to be Daniel Jones.
Nothing.
So,
yeah,
you know, we just got – or some players played horrible, and then they end up being amazing in the regular season and become freaking icons in the NFL. But we have TMS 5 returning as well, so let's Steele kick off with that.
That was a targeted shot. This man went straight at Daniel Jones. He didn't waste any time with that one. He's like Daniel Jones. Do I disagree? Not at all.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't disagree at all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing TMS 5 again. Woo! But this time, it's a special TMS 5, bro.
So
we're
it's
doing
not a regular
TMS
one?
5, this or that.
Wow.
I'm going to give you two options. And you're
Will I
going
be
to tell me
thatting
which
or
one you like
thising?
better.
That's up to you, Mason. You make the decision, bro. That's on you.
Will the boys be thising or thatting? Find out right now. First one, you know, as the NFL season is beginning very soon and is approaching us, there's always the great game to look for, and that is the NFL Thanksgiving games.
Oh, man.
But which one do you guys prefer more? The NBA Christmas games, which are also great, or the NFL Thanksgiving games?
All right. Are we going TMS with the order?
Yeah. You can
Yes, sir.
All right. Still bringing the heat. I like this question a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Thanksgiving games because football is my favorite sport, and something about it just feels so American. Like Christmas games are cool, but like with Christmas, I just feel like Christmas is my favorite holiday, and I just feel like everything else going on with Christmas, like you can forget about the NBA games. But with Thanksgiving, bro, what else are you gonna do? I mean, you got your family there, you're making food, you got the games on. You know what I'm talking about? Well, for Christmas, You're opening presents. Maybe you want to throw a fireplace on the TV. You know what I mean? So with Thanksgiving, you're not going to throw a fireplace on the TV because out here it's still like 87 degrees in November. So or 90, pushing 90s. So Thanksgiving, there's nothing better to do. Thanksgiving football, bro, with the family, a turkey bowl. Man, come on now. You know I got to go Thanksgiving football.
Buddy brought out the whole weather chart.
I think it is like 90 degrees in November.
Yeah,
I think it's a little chillier than that.
Yeah.
No, really?
I don't know.
It hasn't been November in like
TMS
a year, so
weather
I really
check
don't know.
in November. But you know, I'm gonna go with Thanksgiving football. You know, like I like watching basketball, but I feel like I put on Christmas basketball, but I'm not really watching Christmas basketball.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I am watching Thanksgiving football, you know, and I feel like football is half of Thanksgiving. You know, you got the food and the family half, and you have the other half football. I mean, I watched David blow with the Lions last year in Thanksgiving, and I was entertained.
I remember that.
And I can watch LeBron James on Christmas, and I'm not like as entertained as the football games. You know, it's just a different vibe. You know, there's 16 or now 17 games in the NFL compared to the 70 basketball games.
Right.
And a lot of the times in the basketball games, some of the stars aren't even playing because so many injuries happen. But I will say this year, there's some NFL Christmas games, and I will be watching those over the NBA.
Oh, I will be too.
NBA
Christmas
games because the Cardinals do play on Christmas, so I have to tune in. But yeah, I'm going Thanksgiving football over NBA Christmas.
Good choice.
Yes, boys, this is the first ever this or that clean sweep so far because I'm also going with the NFL Thanksgiving games. You know, I'm a big guy. You know, I like to eat my food, and there's nothing better than football and food, baby.
I didn't know what direction you were going to take that comment.
Yeah, but so Thanksgiving football is my favorite. Also, football is my preferred sport over, you know, any other sport. And there's a little bias in there too. You know, the Bears have been playing Thanksgiving football like the last 5 years. So, yeah, I'm going with the NFL Thanksgiving games.
Mason made a good point with that. I was thinking that as soon as like I was done, I forgot to talk about that. With football, you get like select few games. I mean, obviously, it's like I think it's probably about around 16 games every week, obviously. But with basketball, you get like 8 games a day, so it's a lot. Football is like a lot less common, I guess, to watch. If that makes any sense at all. That's so definitely football for sure.
Yeah. All right, boys. For our second TMS, this or that. The Olympics were this summer. The Summer Games were this year, and we had to watch, the young goat Luka carry Slovenia, even though they, kind of lost, but it's okay. But Olympic basketball is always a great, sport in these summer games. But there's also, Loki slept on tournament, the World Cup, soccer. So, boys, are we going Olympic basketball or the World Cup?
Oh man. When I was little, I used to love soccer. That was like probably my second favorite. Football has always been my favorite. That's probably my second favorite sport was soccer. I got to a certain age and I just completely forgot about soccer and I didn't remember anything about it. And I'm at the point now where I don't know. I know like a little bit, but like not really anything. But I used to watch. It was back in 2014. I loved the World Cup. That's where I first got into soccer. And I don't watch Olympic basketball at all. I don't know if that makes me un-American because I don't know how many Americans really do watch a Team USA. I watched the highlights from a few games, but I really didn't sit down and watch it. And I feel like with the World Cup, I think when it got back like to like later on in the tournament or whatever they do, I think I would watch it more. So I like basketball way more than soccer, but I think I'm going to take the World Cup just because I don't have like ever any interest in watching Team USA for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't really watch either of these, but I'd probably go World Cup. Just I don't even know like any of the players, but I feel like it's a different dynamic because it's literally like soccer or football, not American football, but football is the most popular sport in the world. So I feel like it's a bigger dynamic. I mean, there's a lot more fans, a lot more on the line. I remember in like 2016, I think there's a World Cup, and I just remember that, and it was going on when Team USA was playing as well, and I was like more interested in the soccer, even though I had no idea like who any of the players were. And I feel like Team USA is like always dominant, and even this year they weren't even dominant. But like I don't know, there's something about those games that are just like not entertaining. I don't know what it is, but like there's just a vibe to those games because like I feel like the Team USA players have like zero chemistry, and it's just not fun to watch them just like basically ISO the entire game and just take threes only, and there's nothing like cool about like their ball movement or no old head fundamentals, you know what I'm saying? But
yes, sir.
I'm gonna go World Cup.
Boys, 2 for 2 right here, clean sweep again. Mine's pretty much the same reason as you guys too. I just can't really get into Olympic basketball because it's like you said, like the USA teams are just like a bunch of all-stars, and then you look at the rest of the team, it's like maybe 2 to 3 NBA guys who are like borderline all-stars, but like not really. Besides Luka, of course, that's God himself. But but yeah, I don't know. Just something about the World Cup, even if it's like not even my country, I'm just like I get invested into it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the World Cup on this one, boys.
Yeah, that one's pretty easy. Like I guess it's not really easy just because I'm not like a soccer fan at all. But the World Cup is so fun to watch every single year. I don't know when. I think the next one's next year. I don't remember for sure, but that's gonna be fun.
I think so. All right, boys. Here's our TMS this or that number 3.
Number 3.
As you know, us three typically our top 2 sports that we mostly talk about are basketball and football, obviously. And in those sports, there's always a general captain or like leader of the team, and it's, in my opinion, it's these positions: quarterback and point guard. Quarterback for football, point guard for basketball, obviously, but you know that because you're watching this. You should know that at least. So which position do you guys think is more valuable to the team? Like as a coach, quarterback or point guard?
Definitely the quarterback. Quarterback is the hardest position to play in any sport. It's the most important position to play in any sport. I can't really word it, but I just feel like if you don't, if obvious, I mean, this is obvious. Steele, as a Bears fan, if you don't have a good quarterback, your team is going absolutely nowhere. I mean, besides that 1 year, of course, you're not making it far without a good quarterback. If you don't have a good point guard, you saw the Lakers, their starting point guard. I could be wrong. I think they were starting Rondo or KCP, one of the two, when they made that championship run last year. And they still, like I said, they still won the championship. Not to say Rondo or KCP aren't bad players, but if you had a player, this is going to sound confusing. If you had a player whose star power was to the level of Rondo or KCP in football at the quarterback position, you're not winning anything. Quarterback is the hardest position to play. It's the most important position in all of sports. So definitely quarterback.
Okay. I like the answer. I'm gonna go with more of a bold take on this one. I think quarterback, it's very important, but I think you've seen teams still be successful without a super talented quarterback. I mean, we saw Case Keenum in the NFC Championship game. We saw Nick Foles win a Super Bowl MVP. Guys like that, they can still get the job done. They still, like, as long as you're a decent leader, I think you can, make it decently far, as long as you just have, like, somewhat talent, unlike, like a Trubisky or something or something like that. But I like Tyler's point, like Rondo and stuff. When I think of point guard, I don't think of like stat sheet. You're like point guard. You're the number, like you're the 1, the 2, the 3. I think when I think of point guard, I think LeBron James. I think Luka Doncic. I think Nikola Jokic. I think the guys who are the primary ball handler that run the offense provide so much, because if you think about it, like, yeah, you can have all these talented players, but if you're just a catch and shoot player or just a slasher and you can't really handle the ball or make the offense flow, your team's going to be super stagnant and you're not going to have anything going for you. Prime example, our team, the Pancakes, without Swen running the ball and, running the offense, the offense is stagnant. It's not really getting moving, but when he's on the court, the ball's flowing, everyone's making the right pass, just better shots all around.
That's my point.
And I think like a point guard just like provides so much for the team, because like ball handling, I think it's the most important like thing in basketball, is just like getting the offense moving. And that all starts with a point guard. And I think with no offense, you can't really get it moving. While in the NFL, you can have like a dominant running back, like a Derrick Henry, just take over a game. Can't really say the same about like who's like a shooter only, like Tim Hardaway Jr. Like he's not going to do what he does without Luka Doncic.
The Clipper killer himself, bro. Tim Hardaway Jr. I was so mad he re-signed, bro. I wanted him gone so bad.
Facts. This is actually going to come to a shock for you guys, as you know, I am a very keen guy when it comes to the quarterback position, but I do agree with you a lot, Mason, because usually, like, especially like the quarterback position, you can have a guy who is, systematic, who fits the system, who is like average, if not a little bit above average talent, and still make it really far into the playoffs, if not win a Super Bowl. We've seen it with Nick Foles, like Mason said. And then another thing to mention is the guy that I have his jersey on right now. This guy is, he's killing it at the youngin. But we saw in that we saw in that Super Bowl though against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, his Patty Mahomes' O-line was atrocious. Like, it was god awful that game, and you could see him struggling out there. So I feel like without that good O-line, the quarterback is going to struggle or without like a decent system that he fits into, he's going to struggle. And then the point guard is basically, I feel like he is the system. Like, you see, like Chris Paul took that young Suns team to the finals. May have lost in the finals, but what are you gonna do? It's Chris Paul. Chris Paul does his things in the playoffs, okay? But sorry, Colin. But
you're completely right about it too.
So the fact that like a player like at the point guard position can flip that young team from like not even making the the NBA bubble playoffs to making it to the finals and winning 2 games is a reason why I'm picking the point guard over the quarterback position.
That's a good point, because you think about, I mean, this might be a bad comparison, because I was gonna say, you think about I'm still sticking with quarterback, but you think about like in the Super Bowl with the Buccaneers, Tom Brady wasn't like extremely great. And that's my favorite athlete ever. I love Tom Brady, but he wasn't like extremely great. And they still won. They won easily too. They won mainly because of that not mainly, but partially because of that pass rush. I feel like they could have had I was gonna say I feel like they could have had a worse quarterback, but no, Tom Brady he still had a good game. But you make a good point though, where you're saying that where you guys were saying that's a good point.
I think another like good example is like I don't think we've ever seen in the NFL like a quarterback like there's going to be quarterbacks who like carry their team like Mahomes did. The Super Bowl he won, but he still had guys like Kelsey and Tyreek Hill, like phenomenal players, like best at the position. So it's not like he's completely alone. We never seen like if someone do that in the NFL, like have a bunch of like dudes who like would not even start on other teams, like will them to like the finals or the Super Bowl. But then you have like guys like LeBron in like 2018 and 2007, where his second best player was Mo Williams, and in 2018 his second best player was Jordan Clarkson, and he still brought him to the finals. So I think it's just like I think it's a good point. Still said like the point guard is the system, but I think both are like super valuable. I think point guard or like primary ball handler because like NBA is kind of becoming positionless. And NFL quarterback, those are like two of the like most important positions in all of like any sport.
Yeah. That 2007 Cavs team went 66-16. I still can't get over that. It was LeBron, Mo Williams. I was basically the only like
Big
like
Z.
That's
Big Z.
Yeah,
Anderson
bro.
Varejao.
That's crazy. They went 66-16. That's insane.
Yeah.
All right, boys. This or that number 4. We're gonna kind of go a little quicker on these just because we have so much to talk about the preseason the first week. So this one, I feel like this one out of all the 5 that I have right now is like the weakest comparison out of the 2 because I mean I have a very strong opinion about it, and I know Mason. I know I've talked to Mason about this too. Not so Tyler. It's nothing personal. It's just I've talked to Mason about this. Sorry, bro.
Hell, man.
But you know, the most exciting thing about these sports that we love so much are the playoffs and how the seeding works. Now the NFL and NBA do very different seedings based on like advancing. So I want to get your guys' like opinions on would you rather have like the NFL seeding in the NBA or the NBA seeding in the NFL?
So you mean like in the NFL 8 teams and then best of 7?
So no.
I was gonna say that would be like impossible.
I'm talking about like the ranking. You know how they go like 1 and 8 versus each other like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it goes like to the next round. It gets like really weird with the NBA. Or no, it gets simple with the NBA, but with the NFL it goes best team versus worst team every time.
So you're saying which one do I like more?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the NBA's because I feel like the NBA is just a lot more simple and it's a lot easier to follow, especially because I don't know if you were taking this into account with your question, but something that's been like a lot of NFL's gotten a lot of hate for is division winners. A prime example of that is last year when Washington hosted a football or a playoff game, and they were I could be wrong. I think they were 7-8-1 or somewhere around there, 7-9 maybe, and they hosted a football game or they hosted a playoff game.
At home.
That's something. Yeah. And that's something the NFL has caught a lot of heat for because in the NBA, they have divisions, but it doesn't affect seeding, right? Like the Clippers or the Lakers and the Clippers are in the same division. But 2 years ago, the Lakers were the 1 seed, the Clippers were the 2 seed because that division doesn't affect the seeding. So I'm going to go with the NBA just because I feel like it's a lot more simple. And I feel like it helps the teams with better records, if that makes any sense, as opposed to just helping division winners. So I'm going to go with the NBA.
Yeah, I'm for sure gonna go like NBA seeding, but like I like NFL's tournament bracket more. Like I think I like the NBA seeding where like division doesn't matter, but I like NFL's where like no matter if the first seed advances, like no matter what, they play the worst teams. I feel like they've earned that right to have like the easiest opponent all the way up until the rounds go on because like at some point like the opponents don't get. I mean, no one in the playoffs is really an easy win, so it's not like they're just getting a free bye to the championship. But as a Cardinals fan, I absolutely hate the NFL seeding. We got robbed of a playoff spot last year to a team we absolutely destroyed in the regular season, which was the football team. which I think is just like it's so stupid. Like we had a better record. We literally beat them, have a better record, and we didn't make playoffs. Like, so yeah, as a Cardinals fan, I definitely like NBA seeding way better.
Yeah. For this one, I'm kind of like in the middle because I actually completely agree with you, Mason, because I like how the NBA like does it. Like it doesn't matter what division you're in, like best record makes it every time. But also the case of like, yeah, like the NFL's like how they do it divisionally, like just because like and just in that example for like the Cardinals, because I know for a fact I'm clowning my Bears here. We would not have beat that Cardinals team, and we were the same record. Like we were dog water in the playoffs. But yeah, I don't know. I completely agree with you, Mason. Like I feel like as the seeding goes on, like the best team should play the worst team there, just because like you earn that right. You deserve to play like the worst person there. But like at the same time, like the division should not like really matter in that sense, because then you have teams like the 7-9 football team or the 7-9 Cowgirls making it, and it's just like, well, they're an easy like they're already out of here. But you mean you never know with the playoffs. So.
I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
the football team put up the best fight against the Super Bowl champions.
Dude, that was
Yeah,
a
they
good
did.
game.
They honestly
That was a
did.
good game.
Which is hilarious, but yeah.
Taylor Heineke was looking like a hero for a second there, bro. That was good. That was a great game.
He's a baller. He's a baller.
He really is.
All right, boys. TMS 5, the last this or that of this one.
Number 5.
I was, I try to broaden my horizon with the sports I watched. I've recently got into hockey, where I'm supporting the new expansion team, the Seattle Kraken. Let's go Kraken. I know nothing about hockey at all, so don't try to ask me hockey stuff. But I've been also dabbling into a little bit of baseball, and I watched the shitty Diamondbacks play tonight. However, they played a great San Diego Padres team, and our rookie just pitched a no-hitter, and it was beautiful against that beautiful San Diego Padres team. Pause.
Fernando.
But I want to get your guys' input on this. Which statistic takes more skill? A triple-double in the NBA or a no-hitter in baseball?
First of all, I want to take a second and I want to congratulate Tyler Gilbert was his name on the no-hitter, which is kind of cool because my name is Tyler
and you're from Gilbert.
And I'm from Gilbert, Arizona. So that's kind of cool. You said that and I was like, wait a second, I'm pretty sure his name was Tyler Gilbert. I had to look that up. But yeah, I started with Tyler Gilbert. So you're saying what's harder, triple-double or a no-hitter?
Yeah, what takes more skill?
Definitely a no-hitter. I think people, just because baseball is so slept on as a sport and it's not watched as much as you would think it might be, even though I feel like people just hate on baseball. But so people underrate really how tough it is to play baseball. And I think you ask anybody who plays, because there's multi-sport athletes. I think I've heard that hitting a baseball is probably the hardest thing to do in any sport. I think people really underestimate how tough it is to play baseball. And that's not to discredit getting a triple-double whatsoever, by the way. That's Russell Westbrook, Oscar Robertson, everybody who's racked up numbers in that category. Phenomenal athletes. I'm not trying to discredit them in any way, but no hitters are extremely tough. You look at how many triple doubles there are per year in the NBA in comparison to how many no hitters there are in the NBA, maybe excluding this year, because this year is absolutely insane with no hitters. I'm not sure what the numbers are, but definitely I'm going to go with hitting or getting a no hitter. I feel like that's definitely requires a lot more skill.
No hitter is when a team doesn't hit a single ball, right?
Okay. I didn't know if I would have to explain it. So what it is, that's basically what it is.
Okay.
No, they can hit the ball, but they just can't get on base. Like let's say
you get clamped the entire game.
Hit. Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's say that somebody gets a hit. And they can make contact with the ball, obviously, with their bat. But let's just say they ground out to the second baseman, they throw it to first, that's an out. Basically, just nobody gets on base.
Okay.
Is what a no-hitter is.
Okay, I definitely feel like that's probably harder. Just I feel like maybe a couple years ago, I think this would be really close. I just feel like the way the game is in NBA now, triple doubles are just somewhat not I guess they're common, but they're not easy to get. Still, they're still a very hard feat to get. But I feel like every year in the NBA, you're having a new player have record the youngest triple double ever, like the youngest player to have a triple double ever. Like this year was like LaMelo Ball, and I think before that it was like Lonzo Ball or Markel Fultz or one of those two. And if
Yeah.
Markel Fultz is getting triple doubles, I mean, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a no
dude.
hitter. Do you say the Diamondbacks had a no hitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're
Our rookie, Justin Gilbert.
okay. So that's pretty impressive though, because I'm pretty sure the Diamondbacks are horrible. So for them to have
Yeah.
that,
Oh,
And the
yeah.
Padres
impressive.
are good too.
The Padres
Okay.
are, yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go no hitter just because I feel like I don't know. I feel like 9 innings and you don't get on base once. I feel like that just seems crazy.
Yeah. All right, boys, our TMS 5, this or that is a clean sweep for our last question
There it
because I'm
is.
also going no hitter. Yeah, I would just have to agree with both of you, especially because like the NBA game in general has just changed so much. Like, just like players getting triple doubles like left and right, and like you said, if Markel Fultz is getting a triple double, there's something wrong. Like that's got to be like it's not easy. Obviously, I know myself could never get a triple double as hard as I
me
could
neither.
try, but
Speak for yourself, pal. No.
Yeah.
hey, I didn't say you guys. I said
Mason
myself.
got on lock.
I said myself.
Board man gets paid. Come on.
But yeah, no hitter is definitely a tougher feat nowadays than a triple double. Now, if we're talking WNBA,
Okay. Okay.
Just
Okay.
brought up the W, bro.
sorry.
I'm
W.
looking.
WNBA
I'm trying to find how many triple doubles there are per year versus how many no
Well,
hitters
Westbrook
there
gets
are.
like 40 on his own. So I mean,
But that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm
Facts.
saying. That's like
then you
let me see
include
if
like
I'm just
Lucas and LeBron and Harden and even Giannis and Katie and all those guys.
genuinely curious. Let me see if I can find it.
Tyler looks up that. You can hop into some preseason takeaways. I'll go with my first, like one of my first things I noticed. There's obviously a game tomorrow. I forgot who it is. It's not one
Colts
that's
Panthers, I think it is.
yeah, like I don't even think Darnold's
Yeah.
gonna play. Wentz is
I
obviously
doubt
not
it, yeah.
playing, so it's not like too interesting.
Mm-mm.
But the biggest takeaway I have is the Broncos have a decision to make at quarterback because I think they have. I mean, from what I saw today, both of those guys look like they could be the starting quarterback for the team. Not like a crazy starter, but like Drew Lock really impressed me today. He had a massive 75-yard touchdown or something. Great throw. KJ Hamler had a beautiful route, got wide open. But then you also look at Teddy Bridgewater, who was super efficient, was like 7 of 8, also had a touchdown pass. So I think the Broncos have a decision to make. I think they're going to roll with Drew Lock to start the season, just because I feel like they don't want to give up on him quite yet as their young gunslinger. But I would not be surprised if Drew Lock struggles in like week 3. They're like, Teddy, it's your turn. So I feel like the Broncos have a decision to make on what their quarterback situation is because it's a very weird one because they have 2 mediocre quarterbacks. And it's just weird. It's kind of like the Bears situation last year. I think it's like Nick Foles and Mitch Trubisky have 2 kind of mediocre guys. Like one of the young quarterbacks has had a ton of opportunities.
It's a pretty good comparison, actually.
And then the other veteran has had some flashes of really great moments and then flashes of like, dude,
absolutely.
How are you in the league?
Yeah.
like, so I think they have a decision to make for this long season. I think they're gonna have.
I'm gonna add on to this because that's actually something I was gonna talk about too. I was gonna talk more so about Drew Lock than Teddy, just because in the past I've been known to be a Drew Lock guy. So I'm not fully off the Drew Lock train yet. I was after this last year. I wasn't fully off. I was like most of my body was like I had my arm on, my feet, like some toes were on, like the rest of me was like off the train. I wasn't like there anymore. But after today, he I know he literally had 7 attempts and he didn't play that much, but he looked pretty good. He was 5 for 7. He had 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 5 completions, 2 of them were touchdowns. I watched the game. He was playing well. That 80-yard strike he had to KJ Hamler was beautiful, by the way. I watched that play over and over again. That was fantastic. There's not really a ton I was going to talk about with this one, just that I'm not ready to get off the Drew Lock train yet. I still think that I would start him completely what you were saying, Mason. He's still young. They don't want to show that they're giving up on him yet. Also what you were saying, if he's not playing well, they have a not horrible backup behind him too that they can just throw on the field. a veteran guy, which I think that was a good move for them, was getting a vet to have on the field if Drew Lock was struggling. So I'm gonna agree. I'm going with the same point. I think Drew Lock should be the starter because he really impressed me, but I wouldn't be surprised if he starts going downhill again.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with Drew Lock, honestly. Like he'll have flashes where he does look pretty impressive, and then other times he just looks like absolute dog water. But I like to agree with you. It's what you said, Tyler. That bringing in Teddy Bridgewater, it's like that veteran leadership in the quarterback room is gonna help him because Drew Lock, obviously he has the talent to be in the NFL, hence why he is in the NFL and starting for the Broncos. I think the main thing he's like, what's lacking in his department is like he's still young, so he's not, he's very arrogant. He's like cocky, so like he's not really like taking that, mentoring leader role that he should be taking as the starter of the Broncos, especially because the team's okay. I know their defense got it better. Shout out Kyle Fuller. I miss you. Anyway, unimportant, but yeah, I feel like I'll agree with you too, Mason. The Broncos really do have a decision to make because if Drew Lock starts to slack more, and because Teddy is a good quarterback, he's deserved every right to still be in the NFL. So they really do have a decision between these two. Personally, I would probably still go Drew Lock just because he still has time to develop, and having Teddy behind you is great mentor for the league. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for that topic.
Awesome. I do another thing about the Broncos while we're on the subject is that Patrick Surtain flashed. He had like a pick six on one of his first snaps in the NFL. So, and
that was his first interception too. That's crazy.
He jumped the route beautifully. So yeah, it's another just little Broncos tab to have in there. Any other what other things did you guys see from this first slew of preseason games?
I'm going to get to that in a second, but something I do want to touch on is that my favorite corner in this draft was J.C. Horn. I think he was the best corner, and I'm going to be so interested to see because I think it's really a three-man race for defensive rookie of the year. You can go different ways, but this is just how I see it. I think it's down to Surtain, J.C. Horn, and Micah Parsons I like a lot too. I'm really interested to see. This isn't really fully like about the preseason, but I'm really interested to see how that defensive rookie of the race is going to go down. I'm interested in that. But as you all know, I am a Patriots fan. I do want to talk about Mac Jones. He didn't get home. Let me pull it up. I had it right here. He didn't get a lot. I was watching the game. He didn't get a lot of action. He was in there for a ton of the game. He threw 19 passes. But he didn't go downfield barely at all. Which is kind of it's kind of our thing is to kind of pound the football and do screens and stuff and run sets like that. But we don't really go down the field that much. But I still don't know how I feel about Mac Jones. A lot of Patriots fans are calling him QB1 and are ready to ditch Cam, even though it's been one game and Cam had I think he had 2 series. I can't remember for sure. I know he had at least one. I think he might have had a second one. Cam didn't look bad. He didn't look great, but he didn't look bad. But Mac went 13. He went 13 for 19, 87 yards. He didn't have a touchdown, but that's because we literally were running screens almost every other play. It was actually a lot of stuff was similar to what he did at Bama, which I thought was kind of cool. They were kind of molding the playbook into what he's comfortable with. I wish he would do that with Cam, but apparently Josh doesn't want to go that far. But I was happy with it. Like I said, there's not really a ton to go off of because he was out there for a long time, but he didn't air the football out, unless I'm forgetting a play or two. He didn't air the football out whatsoever. He drove us down the field, which is honestly I don't care how far he's throwing as long as we're getting down the field and we're getting in scoring position. But I was okay with it. I need to see a lot more, but I just want to touch on Mac Jones that I'm not like everybody, pretty much every other Patriots fan. I love Cam Newton. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL, one of my favorite players all time. I love Cam. If it was up to me, he'd be the starter still. I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm just happy with what I saw from Mac Jones. Obviously, we can't have Cam forever. He's coming to the end of his career really soon. But So Mac probably is going to be the future at quarterback, but I'm not mad about it. We'll see what happens. I'm interested to see though how he plays this season.
Yeah, for sure. I think I don't know. I like how it's kind of meshing into the Alabama playbook, but I also don't because I feel like college schemes sometimes don't work. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury first year,
Yeah.
his playbook is very different from what it is now in year 3.
Yeah, most of the time they don't work.
Cliff now has like an NFL offense, and then you have like Chip Kelly, who didn't even last.
Oh man, and you look at
And-
Nick Saban; his NFL career was horrible too.
Yeah, and I mean, I like that Mac Jones took it like not like super. I don't know. I honestly don't like it because like I feel like 19 pass attempts, 87 yards is like I'm just gonna be honest, it's horrendous.
It's not good at all. That's why I'm like people calling him QB1. I'm like, okay.
I feel like preseason is a perfect time to just air it out because that's the games don't matter, so you might as well just like see what works and see what doesn't. I feel like the screens if it's like getting them comfortable, but I feel like once you start getting in like that 10th, 11th pass, you got to take a shot deep.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's not like Mac Jones's fault entirely. I think that's also Josh McDaniels being very cautious with him.
Bro.
Like I think what that preseason game proved is that they're definitely gonna go with Cam into the season. I don't see Mac Jones playing unless Cam Newton is like absolutely horrendous. But other than that, I think Mac Jones is gonna be their guy because as long as Bill Belichick is there, they're gonna want to make playoffs. And I think Cam Newton definitely gives them the best chance this year. I think Mac Jones is still a super raw quarterback. I think he has a lot to improve on, mainly his pocket presence and awareness, but I think it was a decent debut. I don't think it's anything to like be, oh, this dude's a bust, but I also don't think it's anything to be like, oh, this guy's gonna be the next Brady.
Yeah.
I think it's just like hopefully it's just like this game settles him in, but I don't know who you guys play next week, but hopefully next week we kind of get more deep throws, maybe some play action, some bootleg, just other stuff into the playbook besides dump offs and screens.
Yeah, Philadelphia. That secondary isn't anything to write home about. So I'm hoping so. I'm hoping we can air it out a little bit more so than we did at least because we didn't do it at all.
Yeah. Yeah. What I really noticed about Mac Jones, and it's actually a really good thing. He's very adaptive to like the situation he's given. Like
That's
obviously, we didn't see like the best out of him. We actually saw pretty bad just because that's also a little bit of Josh McDaniels. As much I think he is a good offensive coordinator, to be honest. Like I know he gets hated a lot, but I actually do think he's good minded. All right. Hear me out. He's good. He's good minded. That's the reason why he's so has
I wish the Zoom could change camera angles like just randomly because they didn't get to see my reaction to that. But I love the Patriots with all my heart.
I know he's been trash recently, but I still like him. I still think he's decent.
Taking that Colts job.
The Colts would be horrible.
I know.
But yeah, no, the main because I'm just gonna keep this short because I didn't, really wasn't keen on watching that game. I wasn't really interested. No offense, Tyler, but
that's fine.
The main thing I took from that is Mac Jones will be the future of the Patriots once Cam is gone, and he's very adaptive and he's a good systematic quarterback, which is good to have.
Yeah, for sure.
That's about it.
What did you notice so far in the preseason still?
I'm going to talk about the boy Justin Fields.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
The thing, okay, yes, he did have a good, he had a good first preseason game, but we gotta remember one thing here. It's the Dolphins, bro. Not only that, it's the Dolphins' second, third stringers. Anybody like I love Justin Fields. I think I used to, give you a little bit of crap, Tyler. Just, just because poking fun,
I should have run my Justin Fields jersey out, bro. I would have held it. I didn't think about that. Yeah,
but my takeaway is he looks like he could come out week one, be our quarterback one. He looks really good. He's a great scrambler. He's gotten past that, like first read, like walk on that he had in college, especially like his first year, where he would just stick to one target, throw right there. But yeah, the main thing I don't take away is I'm not gonna be too excited yet, because last time I was excited about a quarterback we drafted, it was the garbage can from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep it real. But it is exciting to see him out on the field, and I feel like he's fitting into the system too, because Matt Nagy he has questionable play calls a lot, but I still think he's a great offensive minded coach. He's a great head coach for the Bears. He fits perfectly with the Bears. But yeah, the main thing I take away is that Justin Fields, he does look great. But I'm not over the roof for him to start week 1 yet, just because he played the second and third stringers of the Dolphins, and no offense to Dolphins fans out there, but they're not very good defensively.
Yeah,
I was
What about
actually
you guys?
I was gonna talk about Justin Fields and one of my points, and then I was like, oh, Steele's gonna bring up Justin Fields. So let me change it. I love Justin Fields. There's literally video evidence. Mason, if you could figure out how to do that, if you could put the clip you put in of like us at the draft
I will
when
not
Justin
do that.
Fields didn't go. I figured that was a lot. But there's video evidence of me visibly shaken up that we didn't draft Justin Fields. I really genuinely think we had a shot, because people said that we were in like talks with, I don't know if this is true, but we were in talks with Carolina and Detroit to trade up. And then people were saying that we never wanted Justin Fields. People were saying Justin Fields was like our main target. And then after the draft, like, oh, Bill never wanted Justin Fields. That was just a smokescreen. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know really what was going on with that. But yeah, I was going to talk about Justin Fields too. I love Justin Fields for years now. And I loved what I saw. I thought something that was kind of like with Mac Jones, I noticed a lot, is they looks like they utilized a lot of stuff that he ran at Ohio State. Like the main one was his touchdown passes to Jesse James. That was very, very eerily similar to a touchdown he had against Clemson in the CFP last year. I think it was a Sugar Bowl. I can't remember. I think it was a Sugar Bowl. I can't remember for sure. Where he did the same kind of roll. It was like, I think it might have been a play action. He did the same kind of rollout. He did a lot of play action, by the way, which he did a lot of Ohio State too. He did the same kind of rollout, drop back far, so he can get blocking in front of him. And then he found a wide open guy who kind of snuck by the defenders at the bottom of his route. We found Jesse James. Same thing. He found his tight end at Ohio State too on that same exact play. So it's cool to see that they're molding the playbook to him. A lot of people are saying he should start week 1. Pretty much everybody's saying he should start week 1. It was awesome to see how the city of Chicago showed him a ton of love, because you guys really haven't had a good quarterback since, I guess, Jay Cutler, and he wasn't like
Don't disrespect Jay Cutler.
I'm not disrespecting Jay Cutler, but he wasn't like a young when he came to Chicago. He wasn't like a young could be superstar. He was already like. Yeah, it wasn't like a young blood at all, bro. He wasn't like a young could be superstar. You guys were okay. We know what he's like. Yeah. Let's see what he can do here in our system. So this is the first time you guys have a rookie quarterback that actually has potential to be good. So it was cool. It was cool to see. It was awesome to see.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think I don't know, but like the vibe from Fields compared to Mitch, like when they first stepped on that field, there's just something different. I think it's just because Bears fans have just been like so sick of like Mitch that they've been needing something new, and like Fields is finally that. And I think I really liked the biggest thing I took away from the game is I really liked his ability to extend the play, not only with his legs, but he did a really good job of throwing the ball outside the pocket, rolling out, getting the ball to his receiver. I think the biggest thing that I saw from him, that was not good. I think he needs to protect himself more. I did not like the way he was kind of acting like Lamar Jackson and like trying to juke people, or like even act like Cam Newton, truck people. I just don't like that for quarterbacks. I think it's just always better to get down, because I just do not want to see him get hurt. And I think every quarterback needs to take notes, unless you're Cam Newton, who's just a freight train, and that's just literally what he's known for.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I think he just needs to do a better job of protecting himself. I mean, you saw the first play he scrambled, he fumbled the ball. He was just being careless with the ball. Because he was like trying to do a spin move, and it's just like I think it's because he is so used for that working in college football. And I feel like NFL players don't really understand like the jump. Because I know a lot of like mobile quarterbacks, they're like, oh, I did this in college, there's not a difference, and then they try to do it against the NFL, and they're like, yeah, this is a big difference. But that's gonna just be that's just gonna be like he's gonna be better at that as like the games go along because like that's literally his first NFL appearance. So it's just gonna get better as the years go along and even the games go along. I think we're gonna see a lot of improvement from all these rookie quarterbacks as the years go along. Maybe not Zach Wilson. I'm just gonna segue into that next point. I'm not big on Zach Wilson.
Gee.
I'm not big on Zach
I
Wilson at
know.
all.
Yeah,
I don't think he's all that. He was 6 of 9. He wasn't like I mean, he only had 2 drives, so I can't even base him off of that. But I'm just gonna go off like what people have seen in training camp. And I don't know if you guys have heard, but he
Oh,
has
I've
been
heard.
No,
absolutely
he's been
horrendous
garbage.
in
Oh my
training
God, I've
camp.
heard.
And
I've
like
heard.
there was like this one clip. It was like the first day of training camp. He had this like deep pass to someone I forgot, but it was like he would have gotten sacked if it
That's
was a real
exactly
NFL
what I
play.
was gonna
If it
say.
was a real NFL
Yeah.
play, the defenders
Exactly
were
what I
like
was gonna
standing there
say.
like waving their hands, and
Yeah,
he threw like 10 seconds, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, anyone can do that." I mean, you just wait 10
exactly what I was
seconds.
gonna say.
But yeah, just on the topic of young quarterbacks, I'm not a big fan of Zach Wilson. I think Lance or Fields would have been a better choice than I think Wilson was very, very overrated. He went from
Yeah.
a school in BYU to where this dude had 15 seconds to throw to now the New York Jets. No offense, Jets fans, you're the New York Jets.
Yeah,
Facts.
with all due respect.
With all due respect, your Jets, and he was known as this crazy athlete. I don't see that transitioning over to the NFL. I think Lance and Fields are by far way better athletes outside of the pocket than Wilson is. I think Wilson's very overrated in that aspect. I think he has a cannon of an arm, which I do think can lead to good things. But another thing I just really do not like this kid. This dude was holding out on a contract. You're a rookie, dude. You have to earn your stripes in this league. I have never once seen a rookie hold out of their contract besides like Eli Manning, who forced his way to the New York Giants. But dude, you haven't even stepped in training camp and you're holding out like
I've
and
seen it, but that dude held out for a long ass time.
he almost
He held
Yeah.
out for a
it almost
long
affected his
time.
training camp, which I do not
Yeah.
like at all. I hate that. I hate that if you're the quarterback, we just talked about this earlier, you're the most important position on the field. You need to be there you need to be there day 0, bro. You need to be there before
Nice.
everyone else shows up. You should not be
That's
a
awesome.
diva before you even take a snap in the NFL. And that's why I don't even like the 49ers. I'm a Cardinals fan, obviously, but like this dude Lance, this dude Fields, this dude Lawrence, Mac Jones, even Jordan Love, all these young quarterbacks we've seen that are coming in, like playing their first snaps, they've been extremely humble. They've been hungry and they've just been wanting to get on that field and play. And they did not care about the money or their contract situation. But yeah, that's my rant on Wilson.
That's awesome. He needs to be there day 0. I like that a lot. Yeah, I was gonna talk about the same thing. I don't have any hate for Zach Wilson as a person whatsoever. Obviously, I don't hate anybody.
Probably a great guy.
I'm sure he's a great guy. Oh yeah,
Oh,
looks
yeah.
like it. I'm sure he was raised by a great
BYU
family.
boy.
BYU boy. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with him at all. I'm sure he goes to church, everything like that. I'm sure he's a great guy. Like at the same time, though, I have a little chip against him because Justin Fields. I've said it many times. I love Justin Fields, one of my favorite players in the NFL. I've been following him since the Elite 11. The fact that people don't think I think he's the second best quarterback in that draft. The fact that people don't even have him top 3, some had Mac Jones over him, and the fact that they took Zach Wilson over him, I don't like it at all because I don't understand why. If you look at, he went to BYU. He wasn't playing anybody crazy. Justin Fields had 1 year where he was good too. Zach Wilson did. Justin Fields had 2 years. First year was at Georgia. He had 2 years, and at Georgia he wasn't bad. He just wanted a chance to start because Jake Fromm was there. So he still played good at Georgia against SEC competition. He goes to the Big Ten. He's playing Big Ten teams, which are obviously fantastic. I mean, any college football team isn't horrible, but he's actually playing great competition. And what you're saying, Zach Wilson, his athletic ability, top notch, top of the line, not going to translate to the NFL. I could be completely wrong about this. It's not going to translate as well to the NFL as people really think it's going to. I think people just saw a flashy young kid.
Just compared to this guy.
He was that guy, Russell Wilson. I saw comparisons to as well. He's compared to any mobile quarterback he got compared. Any great mobile quarterback he got comparisons to. Besides Lamar, because people still think Lamar can't.
He's a running back.
That's
me.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh no.
But yeah,
I'm just giving
that's
smoke.
not that's not for me. I'm not trying to say Zach Wilson's going to be a huge bust. I just think Mason also makes a good point. I was actually going to talk about the same exact thing. That's why I reacted when I did when he said it. That this guy made some good throws in training camp, even though he's been playing not great. I haven't watched it obviously because it's the Jets. I could care less. I couldn't care less. But from what I've heard, it hasn't been great. I've seen some clips, not bad clips. Obviously, they're going to show you the better ones over the absolutely dog ones. I've seen many clips like Mason's talking about where he gets sacked, and because obviously you can't sack in training camp or in that portion they were going through at least. I don't know what stage they were in.
There's no touching the quarterback in training.
No touching the quarterback. I figured, there's no touching the quarterback. I didn't figure the Jets had anything different. But basically, he would have been sacked probably in a college game. He would have been sacked at that point, even though his O-line at BYU was great. Still had pressure in his face, still stepped up through it, which was his movement in the pocket was fine. Just the problem is that he would have been absolutely demolished by the D lineman. And he's not, and obviously like you're saying, the NFL competition is much different than the college competition.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens. Obviously, I'm not preying on his downfall, and I hope he has a fantastic career. I hope he wins Super Bowls left and right. But I don't wish.
Well, you're a Patriots fan. I don't know if you want that.
I hope he doesn't win any Super Bowls, but I hope he has success though. But yeah, I don't see what everyone. I mean, I do see what everyone else sees. I just see more into it, where I don't think that he's going to have the same level of success in the NFL as he does in college. I think he's going to struggle in some areas. Not partially due to his fault, because like you Mason, you were saying, he does play for the Jets, and the Jets are going to jet. Could if he was put in a better position with a better O-line, maybe if he went to, I don't know, the Panthers have a good O-line. Maybe if he went to, I don't know, maybe if he went somewhere like that, somewhere where actually had a good O-line, would he be in a better position? Obviously he would. So his position is the team he went to obviously doesn't help him at all. But yeah, I think people just looked at the upside as opposed to the heavy downside. I think Zach Wilson was a high risk, high reward player. I think the risk is going to come more into play in this situation. I agree with Mason. If I had to rank the quarterbacks, I think skill wise, I think he's still 3 or 4. I'm not putting him like all the way down there, but I just don't think he's going to translate as well in the NFL as people think he is going to.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, I also had this on as one of my 3. So I'm glad you brought this up, Mason. The main thing that I want to take away is I was watching Colin Cowherd, and he made a great point about Zach Wilson that I thought was actually really good point. He kind of reminds you of Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel.
Nice.
He grew up. Not saying this is like a bad thing at all, because he was obviously in this segment too that I watched, he was comparing Zach Wilson come up to the NFL to Josh Allen's come up, which Josh Allen his come up was he was playing like a high school like that. If you didn't weren't a diehard Josh Allen fan, you would not know what high school this man goes to. I forgot the name. It's like a non-existent high school, I feel like. But yeah, what Colin was saying, Zach Wilson kind of reminds him of Johnny Manziel. He grew up in a very, very rich family. Yeah, he grew up with money.
Rosen.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Rosen did too.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And not only that, he obviously you grow up with money. You go to the great schools, and BYU is a great football program, as we've seen. BYU is they win their games. And I just thought it was a great point that he kind of does remind me of a Disney Channel version of Johnny Manziel, because he's obviously not going out there partying, doing whatever, but he is being like that first part where he held out to go to training camp just for the contract was giving me Johnny Manziel vibes. He's being not thinking of his team. He's being very me, which respect, get your bag, but at the same time you're the quarterback of this terrible franchise. You need to be there. You need to get with the team, get the chemistry building. But yeah, the main takeaway personally is I feel like he is getting that Johnny Manziel vibe for me. But I also have to reconcile the fact that he is on the New York Jets, and they are atrocious. Sorry, Jets fans.
Yeah. The contract thing was just very off-putting to me. I wasn't a big fan of him, but the contract thing just really was. That really put the nail in the coffin.
The post he made about it was funny though. I don't know if you guys saw it on his Instagram. He showed him signing the contract, and his caption, because obviously took it. He was like probably like one of the last rookies. He's definitely the last rookie quarterback to sign his contract. But it was actually kind of funny because he put him signing the contract, and then his caption was, "Sorry, I couldn't find a pen." I thought that was kind of funny. But I mean, obviously, it doesn't just. I thought it was kind of fun.
Disney,
I liked it.
That's
Disney
funny,
Channel joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
I also
Someone
saw that. I also saw that picture of him was edited until like it was like on like a math textbook because he looks so like like the generic school kid.
Yeah, generic white guy, bro. I saw someone. You guys probably saw this. I think I probably sent it to one of the chats one time, but someone said Zach Wilson looks like a Disney Channel character who's playing Zach Wilson, like in a Disney Channel movie. That was pretty funny.
Oh yeah,
he really does.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah, so might as well just wrap up the other young quarterbacks. We have Trey Lance. I think I don't know if we saw a ton from him, but I think the biggest takeaway is he just has a big play opportunity. I think he's got a cannon for an arm. I think he's gonna be very exciting to watch once he takes over the reins from Jimmy G. Whenever that is. Kyle Shanahan has a Jimmy G love affair, but
he really does.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I could say for him as of now, just because I feel like it wasn't a ton besides that 80-yard bomb he had to Sherfield, which was a phenomenal play. Really loved the play drop from Shanahan and perfectly executed by Lance. And then Jordan Love, I honestly value him as like a rookie quarterback because he's literally got his first snaps ever, which is kind of annoying to me because I feel like there's times last year he probably could have got a couple snaps where they gave it to Tim Boyle. Don't know why. But Love looked pretty efficient. He had a touchdown pass, but it wasn't like anything crazy. It was just like a screen dump off to the running back, I believe. But still efficient nonetheless, 12 of 17 throwing. And then we have this guy. I think the biggest takeaway, he only had 2 drives, but I think the biggest takeaway from Lawrence is like he just seems like he is meant for this league. Like he just like the first moment he stepped down there, I know he got sacked, but like he just seems so professional. Like it didn't look like the big spotlight got to him at all. He took some risks passing. He had an amazing throw to Marvin Jones. Offensive line is a concern for that team, but I don't think it's too bad. I don't think it's like Bengals type of offensive line. I think there's some decent pieces on that O-line to help Lawrence out. But I think the biggest takeaway is he just looks super professional, and I think he's going to show why he's the number 1 pick. And the also takeaway is that Minshew, I'm sorry, dude, your career as being some pedestal of up here. I know Steele's a big fan of him.
I am a big fan of
He
him.
played against second stringers. I don't know if you guys watched. He played against second stringers.
Garbage.
He was not very good. I think Urban Meyer's like, oh, there's a competition. I think that's literally just to bring up the trade value and Minshew.
Oh, totally.
But after watching that game, Minshew's trade value is not changed at all. I think it's not very high. But yeah, I'm kind of getting sick of the whole Minshew hype. I think he's pretty like arrogant. I don't know if you guys have been looking at the quotes he's been saying pretty much his whole career, but
yeah,
he was dissing Kyler his rookie year. I mean, look who's where now. I mean, Kyler's one of the best. He's not even playing.
He's on the way out.
And then he's also not like, like I just know like quarterbacks like all the time are like not like he's not a veteran quarterback, but he's been in the league for a decent amount, 3rd year. You have the guys that like if someone gets drafted, they're always like, man, I don't see it as like any foul blood. I'm gonna always help him out, be there for him. And then with Lawrence, he's like, no, this is my team. Like no. It's like, bro, he got drafted 1st overall, generational talent. You're not getting to play. You should just be a good teammate and not make so much drama in the news. I feel like it really is creating drama. I feel like it's so unnecessary to just be like, I'm gonna fight tooth and nail for the starting spot. Like, yeah, it's good to have that competition, but I feel
everybody knows he's not getting it.
I feel like it's just better. Yeah. Like, I like the competitive spirit, but I think it's better to keep that internal because I think if you make it external, it just creates unnecessary drama, especially with a kid who is literally known for not being like problematic whatsoever. Like Trevor Lawrence might be one of the most unproblematic persons of all times. I mean, this dude's a married man, he's living his best life. Probably has a cute dog at home, great house probably in Jacksonville. And you have Minshew who's going on tour with his stupid mustache, and jorts. I mean,
Stupid mustache and
you know what I'm
jorts.
saying? That's just my only thing. I think Minshew is a good quarterback, but I don't think he needs to create unnecessary drama between him and Lawrence when Lawrence does not even care about the whatever the hell Minshew has been saying.
Yeah.
That's actually funny.
Minshew could
you
be.
go. You.
I was just gonna say real quick. I think Minshew could be good for the Colts.
Yeah.
Since Carson
Ooh.
Wentz got hurt, I feel like they should trade for him. He'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
they're looking.
Then when
they
Wentz
need
comes back,
something.
Minshew will be like, Wentz gonna better break his foot again because I'm not giving up this damn starting spot.
He's like, this is my team still.
Also, that quote he said, where he was like, it was something like, "Oh, I haven't pooped in 2
that.
weeks."
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, like it's funny, but like, come on, like, bro,
it's kind of corny.
He said,
"It's pretty cringe, dude."
He said, like, I haven't taken
bro.
a number 2 in week because I'm no number 2. He said something like that. I was like, bro, yeah, you are.
corny.
Yeah, you are.
You die, Minshew.
What I was gonna say was it's cool that you went the same direction with talking about rookie quarterbacks, talking about Jordan Love. It's actually I was gonna do the same thing because I was gonna just talk about all the rookie quarterbacks. I'll do the same thing. You pretty much got everything, so I'll just go cool with it. Trevor Lawrence, I loved what I saw from him. Obviously, I'm a huge Justin Fields fan, but I'm not an idiot. Trevor Lawrence is by far the best not by far, but he's definitely the best quarterback in this draft. Loved what I saw from him. Acted like a true professional for sure. I love what you're talking about. First play he got sacked, lost the football, got it back right away. Obviously, it wasn't that big of a deal. Came back the next play. They obviously didn't score. I think he had 2 drives, didn't score on either of them, but still acted like a true professional. He still plays for the Jaguars. They're not anything crazy. They're probably not going to do a ton this year. But man, he's insane. He's gonna be a problem in this league for every other team for years and years and years to come. That throw he had, to Marvin Jones Jr. was fantastic. By the way, I typed in chat as soon as I saw it. I was like, that's an incredible throw. Acted like a true professional. Didn't look like a rookie at all. He's gonna be fantastic for years to come. Next, we'll go to Jordan Love. I was gonna talk about him too. I think as long as the Packers. I think what it looks like now is this gonna be Aaron Rodgers last year. This is gonna be the last dance with the Packers with him. I think the Packers for the quarterback position are in great hands. I loved what I saw from Jordan Love. I was a big Jordan Love guy last year. I really wanted us to draft him at 23. We could have. We decided to trade back for some reason. But I loved what I saw from Mason. You're totally right. It wasn't anything crazy, especially that touchdown. But still loved what I saw from him. He put up good numbers. I think the Packers are in good hands. Nothing to worry about. At the quarterback position, at least. Devontae Adams, that's something they got to worry about. That's a different story. I would definitely worry about that if you're a Packers fan. And then I'll go to Trey Lance. When you said you put it really well, Mason. Yeah, he has a huge arm. His big playability is through the roof. He can make the big plays on over and over and over. That 80-yard touchdown was insane. His first throw was an incompletion. Bounce back. The very next throw was an 80-yard touchdown. That was tremendous. But yeah, his completion wasn't fantastic. He went 5 for 14, didn't have any scores. I'm sorry. Besides that one is what I meant to say. Besides that one, I don't think he had any other scores after that, which that's not an issue. It's week 1 of the preseason. But I was going to say the same thing. His big playability is through the roof. Definitely think he has, he probably has the strongest arm of these rookie quarterbacks. If not, he's definitely top 2. I would say he probably does. But yeah, the Niners, I'm really interested to see what Trey Lance is going to do just because we really haven't seen a ton from him. Because obviously North Dakota State only had that one game last season. Which actually something I was going to talk about with Jordan Love. Jordan Love, it was cool to see him play like that after he hasn't played a game of football, professional game or like a real game of football in well over a year. I think someone said it was around, I don't know, probably around 400, 500 days if you think going back to last football season because he didn't touch the football at all last year. So it was cool to see him play the way he did. Quarterback's my favorite position in any sport. I love quarterback. So it's cool to see that this new as this old generation of quarterbacks is leaving, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers soon. It's cool to see all these young guys coming in. Not that I'm comparing them, the new guys to those guys, but just cool to see the new wave of talent coming in at the quarterback position. So it shows that the future of the NFL is definitely in good hands.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep my statement a little short and brief because you guys pretty much covered almost if not all the points I was gonna make about all the young quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks coming in. The main thing I want to point out is just watching all these games and like analyzing like these rookie quarterbacks made me realize like that Trevor Lawrence really is that one-of-one generational talent like that we haven't seen since like John Elway coming out of college. Like he is phenomenal. He looks comfortable already in the pocket and everything. Like he's looking phenomenal. And then another thing, with Trey Lance, like you said, he was at North Dakota State, so it's it's not really like they don't get too much buzz because it's North Dakota State. Like
Or Wentz went.
yeah, that is true. But
they own the FBS. But besides that, and they have 2 NFL quarterbacks. Besides that, no one talks about North Dakota State at all.
Yeah. So yeah, but the main thing I take away is that like Trey Lance, he like at North Dakota State, you like to even get drafted like Carson Wentz and obviously Trey Lance, you have to be like that guy that makes your team look better because you look at guys like Trevor Lawrence, Clemson. Clemson always has like 4 or 5-star recruits at their wide receivers and everything, even their defense too. Same with Ohio State and not Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones in Alabama, obviously because it's Alabama,
That's
the powerhouse of college football. Yeah,
Sweet
but
home.
Sweet home.
Sweet home Alabama. But yeah, Trey Lance just looks like he looks phenomenal. He's a great talent, and he does make like players around him look better, and that's like a great thing to have. And same with Justin Fields too. I'm a little biased as I'm a Chicago Bears fan, but he's also like a generational talent. Not as up there as Trevor, because Trevor's literally like the perfect quarterback to have, like the one-of-one like generational talent that we haven't seen in a while. I know I've said that a lot, but after those 3 guys, the drop off is pretty significant. Like it's not like huge, but it's significant because those 3 guys are like just generational studs. I've said generational like 100 times, but I'm just trying to get my point across.
I don't know
but
if
yeah,
that's that many times.
Well, exaggerating, but that's the main thing I have to take from that.
Yeah, for sure. for sure. Anything else y'all boys noticed?
I think what I noticed too. I watched the Hall of Fame game. The Hall of Fame game is a great game. Shout out Calvin Johnson, Peyton Manning, all those guys. Charles Woodson too. It was cool to see them get their Hall of Fame jackets. Najee Harris, I feel like he fits that Steelers system good. The running back. I don't want to go too much into it because he didn't really see too much, but I saw like how comfortable he was back there, and I feel like he's gonna be about like the same as like when James Conner was there, because I know the Steelers are a heavy pass team with Big Ben, those star receivers, but I think Najee Harris will pan out to be a great running back in the NFL. That's what I took away from game 1.
I did not watch the Hall of Fame game, but from what I heard, Najee Harris looked like the real deal. I think it was interesting to see. I'll just talk a little bit about it, to see running backs go in the first round, because unless it's like super like obviously Zeke, Saquon, unless it's like someone who could be like the next big thing. It's not really usual you see running backs going in the first round. So to see 2 of them with Najee and then ETN as well. I think ETN was more because they got Trevor, so they were just trying to cater to him a little bit more, which is I love that, by the way. I thought I love that pick. But it was I think it's going to be cool to see these rookie running backs, because they have so much they have star potential, but you just didn't see anybody talking about them that much just because they're not the top of the class.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't watch the Hall of Fame game, but I heard Najee Harris played well. So I'm definitely, I hate the Steelers, but I'm definitely excited to see what he can do for sure.
Yeah, he looked good.
For sure. Last thing I want to talk about, because it's only 1 week of preseason, not a ton, but Bruce Arians, I know I've slandered your name a ton. I'm sorry for it, but I'm gonna do it again.
I thought he was about to just
why the hell
unburn all the bridges.
Why the hell would you have Tom Brady playing the damn preseason?
He did.
I know he only threw 2 times, but why the hell would you have? Does he have 7 rings? A 7-ring.
You know it. You know he
A
does.
7-ring 44-year-old entering his 22nd season playing the preseason. He does not need the preseason whatsoever. He proved that last year and the year before that and the year before that. He never plays in the preseason. He didn't even have a preseason last year and he won a damn Super Bowl.
I did not know
Why
that.
would you even remotely risk? I don't care if you're doing simple plays. Is it really worth throwing him throwing 2 times? Him gets sacked once, twist an ankle, out 8 weeks. God forbid he's out the whole year. Your season's done. Because sorry,
He
Blaine
did
Gabbert,
play.
love you when you're on the Cardinals. You're not doing anything with the Buccaneers, Mr. Blaine. And it boggles my mind how Bruce Arians is thought to be some top tier coach. He's not bottom tier. He's just a mid coach. He really that just really made me mad. Like, I'm not even a Tom Brady fan, but dude,
I am.
why would you do that? I can't be the only one who thinks this, right? Like, why
No,
would you?
Oh
do
yeah,
that?
that's why I was so
you.
surprised. I didn't watch the game because it wasn't on NFL Network. I didn't watch the game. Also, I just didn't think that Tom Brady would play. So I guess he threw 2 times, so it wasn't really worth it. But if I would have known he would play, I probably would have watched a little bit of it. But that's why I was so surprised because there's really he's going into year.
It's like 22. It's
year 22, I think it is.
It's
Yeah,
45.
you do not need
he's
you do not need the
44.
preseason,
44.
bro.
He's 44. So yeah, I didn't know that. That's really weird to me. It's not. I don't understand that at all. While we're on the topic of Buccaneers quarterbacks, this man Kyle Trask went 4 for 15.
Okay, but who's been calling him Kyle Trash? Literally, I think all of us. He's not good. He's not good.
Oh no,
Yeah.
He's
no, I
bad.
just thought it was funny.
He is so bad.
He's not impressive, but I don't know. I don't know. I can't judge him yet, but
Oh, I can. He threw 3 picks in the first quarter of a bowl game.
yeah,
I can judge him all right.
yeah.
This dude got benched in a bowl game.
Boomer soon.
Actually, they didn't say bench though. They didn't say bench. He just sat out the rest of the game because he didn't want to get hurt before the draft. No, you got benched because you were horrible.
I would have sat out too.
What round was he even drafted in?
It was like
3rd.
Yeah, dude,
He wasn't.
That's what reach
he
and a
was in
half,
that,
bro.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was in that string.
5th or 6th round
because
pass,
early 3rd round there was that string where it was Mon, Davis Mills, and Trask. I think it was. I'm gonna check on that, but I'm pretty sure. I know there was a string of 3.
And then Ian Book
taken
went in the 4th round too. By the way, I don't know.
Not an Ian Book guy at all.
I don't know if Ian Book played today. Ian Book is not good either. He's a 6-foot quarterback, and I know I'm a fan of Kyler Murray, but at least he has a 4.3 40. Ian Book probably has a 4.7 40 and cannot throw.
Not the
all.
Fastest cat, that's for sure. Let me make sure. I just want to make sure I'm right about this.
No, yeah, I don't. All I'm saying is, I don't care if Brady was begging and freaking Bruce let me play in the preseason. You tell Tom Brady, hell no, you are not playing in the preseason.
Not. Knowing Tom though, he probably was. He was probably like, "Yo, oh my God, Mason, you're not gonna be happy about this. He was a second round pick.
Who? Yeah, Kyle Trask. Yeah, it was like the 62nd pick or something like that.
64th. He went. Yeah. He was 32nd of the second round, 64th overall. I would have taken Kellen Mond before Kyle Trask. Kellen Mond's a baller.
Yeah, but like, anyways, that's pretty much all I have for preseason. Yeah. Bruce Arians, do not play Tom Brady next week. What are you like?
Please, God, don't.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, that's stupid. That's risking your Super Bowl repeat right
Tom
there.
Brady probably hasn't played in a preseason game in 10 years.
I remember back in New England, he would play a little bit. He literally played maybe a drive, and that was pretty much it. I know there were some games that he didn't play. There were some preseason games we pulled him out of. I remember because I was young at the time, so I didn't really understand like the full magnitude of like preseason really doesn't matter, and I was upset about it because I wanted to see Tom play. But obviously now I'm older than I was when I was younger.
Older than I was. You're older than you were.
I'm an old man.
You're older than you were 20 minutes ago, bro.
I'm older than I was when I started that sentence. Obviously now I'm older than I was. I'm older than I was when I was younger. I'm older than I was when I was younger. So I know I understand the magnitude of it more so now.
Any of you boys have anything else to add for the preseason?
No, actually,
we got it.
I think the biggest thing to conclude is that football's back, boys.
Let's go!
We made it, boys.
Heck yeah, baby.
We made it.
Go. Also, another thing to include is we made a podcast again.
Yes, check out the Minecraft video. We'll make another one soon.
It's a banger.
Another one coming out within the next few days. Wait on it. I want to see when the last. I hope so.
It was February. If you're looking
It
for
was
the next
February. It
podcast.
was 6 months ago.
Anyways,
It was the Super Bowl, yeah.
We back.
Hey, we took an off season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
NFL
you
took
know,
an off season. We took an
so
off
did-
I
season.
don't
Yeah.
know, bro. I'm very excited for football. Like I love basketball.
Oh my
but
God,
football's
yeah.
different. I don't
Football
know. I like
was-
watching football way more.
Yeah.
It's just something different about it. But anyways, we'll see you guys probably next week. We'll probably just do the same thing, another
Yeah.
little recap. It'll be pretty boring. We'll also be doing predictions. It'll just be a little boring until the
Yeah.
actual regular season starts because
Yeah.
by the time preseason week 3 comes around, damn Tim Tebow will be starting at kicker for the Jaguars. So
Dude, speaking of Tim Tebow, I
actually
wanted
wanna
to see him get some
snaps.
action.
pause.
Well, not like. See, that was
Bro.
He's a man of
unwarranted.
God, bro. Please.
He really is. Tebow time.
Yeah.
Dude, no, okay. Last snippet.
Shout out to
Tim Tebow
Dog
wide
Tebow
open,
time.
had a great route wide open. Tavon Austin's dumbass.
Tavon Austin. I saw
Excuse
that.
my language. Ran the wrong route and literally stole the ball from
Dude.
Tebow. That was so
Bro.
annoying. But anyways.
Tavon, you don't have to fight for a spot. We know you're not going to do anything crazy.
We know you're
Tim
not gonna
Tebow's-
make it, bro.
Tim Tebow's out here fighting for his life, bro. We know you've been in the NFL for a minute now. We know what you can
Tavon,
do.
you've
It's
had
not
your
a ton, but we
chance.
know what you can
Yeah,
do.
Tebow-
You've had your
Tebow's
shot.
He was coming back, bro.
Tavon's had his
You've
damn
had your
chance,
time.
bro.
Let's get Tebow. Let's go let Tebow eat a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. All right. We'll see you boys next week with the predictions.
Love y'all.
Yes, watch the Minecraft video.
Is there
Please watch the Minecraft video.